Periodically, the GBC awards the Howard Pete Rawlings Courage in Public Service Award to a person who exemplifies courage and integrity in public service. This award is not given every year. It's reserved for those public leaders who have lived by their convictions and given selflessly of their time and effort for the public good. Tonight's honoree is only the 6th recipient of the award since 2006, the inaugural year that the award was first given to Senator Paul Sarbanes. Tonight, we are pleased to present the Courage in Public Service Award to an individual who has exemplified devotion to the citizens of the state of Maryland in the fields of law, fighting crime, and public service. The GBC is honored to present this special award to Rod J. Rosenstein, the U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland, from 2005 to 2017. Mr. Rosenstein has had a remarkable career. A graduate from the Wharton School of Business, he went on to earn a law degree at Harvard Law School, where he was editor of the Harvard Law Review and graduated cum laude. Before joining the U.S. Department of Justice, he held a clerkship in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia for Chief Judge Douglas Ginsburg. At the Justice Department, he prosecuted public corruption cases. During the Clinton administration, he served as counsel to the Deputy Attorney General and as Special Assistant in the Criminal Division. In 1997, he was hired as an Assistant U.S. Attorney and went on to litigate a wide range of cases. He later moved on to the Justice Department's Tax Division, where he coordinated tax enforcement activities and supervised 90 attorneys and their support staff. In 2005, Mr. Rosenstein was nominated by President George W. Bush to serve as U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland. He served in that role for almost 13 years, the longest serving tenured U.S. Attorney in the country. In that role, Mr. Rosenstein oversaw federal civil and criminal cases and developed federal law enforcement strategies in Maryland. He also served as Vice Chair of the Violent and Organized Crime Subcommittee for the Advisory Committee of U.S. Attorneys. He was active on the subcommittees for white-collar crime, cyber, intellectual property crime, and other groups. Mr. Rosenstein has also been active in numerous other associations and groups, including the Washington-Baltimore High-Intensity Drug Trafficking Executive Board and the Baltimore City Justice Coordinating Council. During his tenure as U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland, it was not uncommon to see his picture on the front page with representatives of local law enforcement announcing a major indictment or conviction that they had worked on collaboratively. He has indeed given selflessly of his time and talents for the public good. Deep dedication and courage fighting the worst in society, such as violent criminals, organized crime, tax evaders, and cyber thieves are the words that describe Rod Rosenstein. In recognition of his passion and commitment to protecting the lives of his law-abiding citizens as U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland, the Greater Baltimore Committee is pleased to award the Howard Pete Rawlings Courage in Public Service Award to Rod J. Rosenstein.
Well, thank you, Don. My speech will be a little bit shorter than yours. Good evening. It's nice to be in Baltimore, and it's really nice not to be in Washington, D.C. for a few hours. I have a lot of friends in this room. I want to read to you a quote from a newspaper article. It says, "Some say that Rod Rosenstein's job is one of the most precarious positions in public service." That was written in 2007. I was U.S. Attorney for Maryland at the time, so some things do not change. I'm the 37th Deputy Attorney General of the United States. The position has existed for 67 years. You do the math. That's particularly humbling for me to be here to receive this award because so many people who deserve it more than I do have earned this award, including Barbara Mikulski and Paul Sarbanes, who are responsible for me being the U.S. Attorney in Maryland, Elijah Cummings, Fred Bielfeld, who is responsible for helping me to reduce violent crime in Baltimore, and of course, Pete Rawlings. After my 10th day on my new job in Washington, D.C., a friend sent me a text message. It said, "You need to get out of there." And I was reminded of a quotation by Thomas Paine at the founding of the Republic. He wrote, "The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in crisis, shrink from service to their country." And I responded to my friend and I said, "There is no place I would rather be." What is courage in government? It certainly includes standing on principle, ignoring the tyranny of the news cycle, resisting the urge to spin, remaining focused on the things that matter. The daily newspapers and endless talk shows are not the verdict of history. To paraphrase Will Rogers, the trouble with some people is not so much what they don't know, it's what they think they know that just ain't so. So many people have offered me unsolicited advice over the past few days about what I should do to promote my personal reputation. But I took an oath to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. There's nothing in that oath about my reputation. If you ask me, one of the main problems in Washington, D.C. is that everybody's so busy running around trying to protect their reputation instead of protecting the Republic, which is what they're supposed to be doing. But that's enough about Washington, D.C. For 12 years, I spent an hour each way driving up here to Baltimore City to work with so many of you to try to improve this city. And I'm proud of what we accomplished in Baltimore. I love Baltimore. When I first got the job, I used to play a CD, Good Morning Baltimore, on my way up 95. And I think that we were very effective in working to build a safer Baltimore, a city where our children, all of our children, can live in safety. But something has gone wrong. Our murder rate is headed toward a record high this year. Just this morning, when I read the national news clips in Washington, D.C., I'm sorry to tell you that Baltimore was in the news. And the headline read, "Baltimore is a killing field." The last case I worked on a few weeks ago before leaving Washington for my new job in Washington involved the murder of a 4-year-old girl named Mackenzie Elliott. They named a street after her in Baltimore. They put up a sign. I came here tonight to tell you that we need to have the courage to restore safety to our streets. This is not a political issue. This is not a partisan issue. This is a commitment that we all need to share. This is Police Week, and we need to have the courage to support law enforcement. Even though they're not always perfect, even though they're not always right. We need them now. We need them more than ever. As the mayor said, we're doing what we can to support you here in Baltimore with federal agents, and we can send a few dozen federal agents, and they're great, but they cannot replace hundreds of Baltimore City police officers. You need to support those police officers. You need to get them out there in the streets where they can protect kids like Mackenzie Elliott, where they can clear drug dealers off street corners so that people can live in safety. I know these police officers. I prosecuted some police officers. But most of the police officers you have here in Baltimore City are honorable people who are trying to do the right thing, and they deserve your support, and they need your support. So please give them your support. Well, this award is about courage, but I know because I work with law enforcement officers that what our police officers do every day on the streets, that is true courage. Nobody ever died from a bad news story. It can be a little painful, but nobody ever died from it. So have the courage to get tough on crime. Please, let's stop ordering street signs for murdered children. I want to thank Don Fry for superb leadership of the Greater Baltimore Committee. It's funny, when on the way up here, one of my colleagues said, you know, there are going to be 1,000 people here tonight. I said, are you kidding me? I've met with the GBC a dozen times, and it's 12 people sitting around in a room. So they're doing a lot of good work for you, led by Don, and I'm very grateful to have worked with him. And I'm very grateful for this award, but I have to confess, I didn't deserve it in April. I don't deserve it tonight, but I will try to earn it. Thank you very much.
Rod, thank you for your commitment to Baltimore, the state of Maryland, and the country.